Lewis Hamilton just shook up the Formula One world once again, and this time it wasn't because of a brilliant overtake or a surprising starting position. It was because of what he said after the checkered flag, which has everyone in the paddock talking. After another disastrous weekend for Ferrari at the Japanese Grand Prix, Hamilton didn't hold back, exposing an internal problem with his SF25 car that has been hindering his performance since the first race. In doing so, he may have sent the clearest message yet to the team. If you want to fight at the front, this needs to change now. What makes this revelation even more dramatic is the timing. There are only a few races left in the season. Hamilton is still adjusting to life in red. Expectations are high, and yet we're already hearing that there's a part of his car that simply isn't working as it should. Something that's been underperforming, as he put it, on his side of the pit lane, and Ferrari needs to fix it now. Not next month, not later in the year, but now. Hamilton didn't come to Ferrari just to fill numbers. He came to win, and at this point, this mission has started quite turbulently. In this video, we're not just looking at a minor technical complaint. It's the clearest signal yet that something is seriously wrong beneath the surface at Ferrari. From Hamilton's revealing post-race comments to the deeper issues that seem to be affecting the SF25's development, we'll explore exactly what went wrong in Suzuka and what it means for Hamilton, Ferrari, and the rest of this already fascinating F1 season. So get ready, because this topic is important. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications, because if this is just the beginning of Hamilton's time at Ferrari, we're about to witness one of the most dramatic stories the sport has seen in years. Trust me, you won't want to miss a second of this. Now let's dive into exactly what Lewis Hamilton revealed after the Japanese Grand Prix and why this is so important. After crossing the line in 7th place at Suzuka, behind both Mercedes drivers and well off the podium pace, Hamilton was surprisingly blunt in his post-race comments. He openly admitted that a specific element of his SF25 has been underperforming since the first race of the season. More importantly, he said it's a problem exclusive to his side of the pit lane. He didn't directly name the part, likely due to internal protocols, but it was clear from his tone and words that this wasn't a trivial issue. We're talking about a significant mechanical or aerodynamic component causing a performance gap between him and Charles Leclerc, who once again finished ahead in 4th place. According to Hamilton's own words, with what he had, that was the best result he could achieve. Think about it. We're talking about a 7-time world champion who knows how to push a car to its limits, and he's telling us clearly that the car simply isn't allowing him to deliver more. Let's break it down a bit further. In the first 3 races of the season, Hamilton lagged behind both in qualifying and race results, with the notable exception of his sprint race win in China, which came under very specific circumstances and in full Grand Prix conditions. However, there was an obvious gap. Initially, some speculated that it was simply an adaptation issue, that Hamilton was still getting used to Ferrari's setup, the driving characteristics of the SF25, or even the communication with his new engineering team. But Hamilton's comments make it clear that this is not just a driving style issue. It's a technical limitation, a mechanical or aerodynamic detail that's underperforming compared to what's on the other side of the pit lane. What makes this even more significant is that it's been affecting not just qualifying pace, but race performance as well. In Suzuka, Hamilton categorically stated that he had extracted the maximum from the car and had nothing more to give. He also revealed that Ferrari had been forced to run the SF25 at a higher ride height than they wanted, likely as an indirect consequence of their disqualification in Shanghai, where excessive plank wear caused his exclusion from the results. This change, raising the ride height, might have protected the team from another penalty, but it also robbed them of valuable aerodynamic grip, especially in high-speed corners like those in Suzuka. And this is where the situation becomes even more frustrating from Hamilton's perspective. While the other side of the garage seems to have adapted better to the compromised setup, Hamilton has been dealing with increased understeer, reduced rear stability, and a narrower operational window, all critical factors when competing against teams like Red Bull, McLaren, and even Mercedes. He also let slip that the problem with this mysterious underperforming element has already been identified by the E team, and he hopes it will be fixed in time for the next Grand Prix. But as we all know in Formula One, identifying a problem is only the first step. Fixing it, validating the solution and implementing it without introducing new complications is an entirely different challenge, especially with a tight deadline for Bahrain just a week away. Hamilton's frustration is understandable, as he didn't join Ferrari just to race in the middle of the pack. He joined with a clear goal, to win races and eventually fight for an 8th World Championship. But right now the reality is harsh. By Hamilton's own admission, Ferrari is currently the 4th fastest team on the grid, behind McLaren, Mercedes, and of course, Red Bull. And this isn't just about raw speed, it's about the direction of development. Hamilton pointed out that Ferrari is still lacking in key performance areas, especially in terms of downforce and aerodynamics. He estimates that the top teams have 3 or 4 tenths of a second more performance than Ferrari at the moment. An enormous gap in a sport where a single tenth can mean the difference between the first and third row. He also mentioned the importance of updates, not just for the next race but throughout the entire season, making it clear that the team will need to work relentlessly to close this gap. If they don't start introducing serious development updates soon, they risk falling even further behind, as the rest of the grid continues to evolve. So, what does all of this mean for Hamilton's future? It's a critical crossroads. If Ferrari can fix the specific problem with his car and start delivering updates that bring real performance gains, we may start to see the Hamilton everyone expected when he made the surprise move to Maranello, fighting at the front, pressuring the leaders, and adding another chapter to his legendary career. But if the car continues to underperform, and the team can't close the internal gap between the two sides of the pit lane, then this move, as bold and historic as it was, could turn into one of the most frustrating chapters of Hamilton's time in Formula One. And let's not forget, this kind of transparency, this public criticism, even if delivered calmly, is still rare in the world of Formula One. When a driver of Hamilton's caliber speaks so openly about the deficiencies of his car and his team, it sends shockwaves through the paddock, forcing the technical team, leadership, and the entire organization to reflect, respond, and take action. In other words, this wasn't just a comment, it was a challenge. Now the ball is in Ferrari's court. Will they be able to give Hamilton the tools he needs to compete? Will they fix what's broken and restore the confidence of one of the most decorated drivers in the history of the sport? Leave your comment below, telling us what you think Ferrari's top priority should be right. Now, the ride height issue, the underperforming component, or the broader development strategy. And if you're enjoying this type of deep and honest analysis of the most dramatic stories in Formula One, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because Hamilton's story at Ferrari is just beginning, and we'll be following every twist and turn. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Yeah.